Hey everybody, welcome to the ultimate course for n8n. I am super excited to bring this video to you and super excited to bring the course to you. So let me tell you a little bit about the ultimate course and a little bit about me. My name is David Soden. I've been in IT and technologies for going on now 30 years almost, and in that time I've had the opportunity to build my own businesses. I've had the opportunity to work for several startups, as well as small to medium-sized businesses and enterprise applications, as well as enterprise organizations for specifically Fortune 100 and 500 clients and companies alike. So been at this for a little while. So the first thing that we want to do in the course is we want to introduce you to a bunch of concepts around low code, no code. This is a primer. Now, for those of you familiar, you can absolutely skip this. It is not imperative or necessary. Although if you're not familiar with JSON, minimally, I have one video in that stack that you might be of interest, or that might be of interest to you, and that is to review the JSON, because a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing here in n8n is going to rely on you understanding the JSON syntax and things of that nature. Okay, so the other thing we're going to get into is what is n8n. At the end of this particular video, I'm going to show you their website. We're going to take a tour around. That's just a preview primer. I've categorized them into like 4 to 5 different buckets that I think is a much better use case that'll make sense mostly to everyone, and we'll get into that as we get into the course. So the other thing we're going to do, and I want this course to not only be helpful so that you can get going and doing what you need to do, but I want you to kind of keep this like a book on the shelf, this course. And I want you to be able to go in and look at these videos kind of ad hoc whenever you need to, because we're going to cover every one of the nodes that is in n8n, and we're going to try to keep the course updated to reflect some of the latest changes or add new nodes as they come online. So the other thing too is we need to make sure that you're ready to use n8n to its fullest potential. This means going through the user experience and talking about each and every area that you as a user will get into. And then finally, we're going to wrap up with some administration, although you may have to skip to this portion of the video series first, because it will go through the installation, and then there's other administrative stuff, as well as some really cool reporting techniques that I want to show you on the back end, because this is not baked into n8n, but I want you to get the most value. And by getting to the underlying data in the system, you'll be able to create custom reports. And I'll give you some example SQL and how you can get some of this information out. And that's of interest. That is for you if you have an interest for that type of thing. Now, the one thing I want to show you is, as of the date of this recording, here is the n8n website. You can see their use cases are identified as IT ops, SecOps, DevOps, and sales. But there is so much more than this thing can do. Just as a quick primer, and getting a little bit ahead of myself, you can see right here there's an AI agent, and there's some tooling going on here. This is agentic, or one of the facets of agentic AI, and it's super powerful because not only can you include it in your workflows behind the scenes at like a step level, it can orchestrate and facilitate between multiple tools. In addition to that, you can also throw a chat component on it. What they don't show here, and they never get into, but it's absolutely possible, you can create a back-end API to your applications and keeping it in the most simplistic way possible. So if you're into vibe programming, whether a beginner or a seasoned professional, and you just want a nice, quick and visual way to create an API, this is absolutely a quick and easy way to get the job done. Anyway, there's lots and lots and lots of other use cases, but there's over 400 integrations right now. And where there's not an integration, if there's an API, you can most definitely use the HTTP connector or node to connect to whatever backend system. So your sky is literally the limit. The only limit you have is how do you actually use n8n, and that is why we created the ultimate course. So at the end of the day, you know exactly what you can do, what you can't do, and where the meets and the bounds are. So let's dig in and let's get started.